Now on Denver 7 News, there's no place like home.
Nothing like home. Just being at home. Home field advantage, having the crowd on your side.
The Broncos are back in Denver, taking on the Texans tomorrow at Empower Field.
Our Denver 7 sports team looks at how the team is getting ready for the home opener at Mile High.
Plus, a deadly disaster in the Colorado skies when two planes collide.
Did you just see that crash? I don't think it was a model plane. I think it was a real plane.
Now 3 people are dead as investigators try to figure out what happened.
I would say that flying is still one of the safest hobbies, professions that you can actually undertake.
And we're digging deeper into the increasing number of small plane crashes in Colorado, why some believe that number will only grow larger.
Good evening and thanks for watching this special post-game edition of Denver 7 News. I'm Bayan Wang.
And I'm Jacqueline Allen. We are starting off talking football tonight. The Broncos are less than 24 hours away from their home opener at Empower Field against the Texans.
Let's get right over to Denver 7 sports anchor Nick Rothschild. Nick, look, Monday's game was a tough loss, that's obvious, but hopefully the Broncos got those first game jitters out of the way.
Yeah, hopefully, and I hope we've all forgotten about what happened on Monday night, yeah? Moved on? We're like totally over it, right? I mean, come on, our collective attention span as a society is like 4.5 seconds. I realize that loss stunk, but we need to Hakuna Matata this thing and get back to riding. If you're having trouble putting it behind you, I imagine whatever sort of smackdown the Broncos are going to lay on the Texans tomorrow, that might help. Because despite missing Justin Simmons and KJ Hamler, I think Russell Wilson's about to go nuclear against Houston. And this group couldn't be more excited to make their debut in front of Broncos country.
There's nothing like home. Just being at home. Home field advantage, having the crowd on your side. I mean, it was definitely a hostile environment last week, and we're so excited to be around in front of our fans and hear them cheer and get excited for all the guys.
Obviously got an experience, the home energy during preseason and running out for the first time, but this is going to be a monumental moment, and just in a way for me, I'm excited about it.
It's going to be huge to get in front of Mile High, man. I know those fans been waiting patiently to get us back in the stadium and starters playing and all that, so it's going to be fun to get in front of them and hear the energy, feel the energy on defense when in third downs and stuff like that, so it's going to be fun.
On to college football. Colorado State facing Washington State. The Rams blinked at the start of this one, and they were immediately down 3 scores. I'm serious. Cameron Ward threw 3 touchdown passes in the first quarter, and it was lights out for Jay Norvell's air raid offense. Clay Millen showed some toughness on a 14-yard strike to Justice Ross Simmons in the fourth, but that's little consolation because CSU gets blown out for the 3rd straight week. Final score in Pullman was 38-7. Now, perhaps some Rams fans can take solace in the fact that things aren't going much better for their rivals in Boulder at the moment. The Buffs are a dumpster fire. On the road at Minnesota today, they made the Golden Gophers look more like the Vikings. And Mo Ibrahim looked more like Dalvin Cook. Ibrahim rushed for 202 yards and 3 scores, while Colorado as a team managed just 39 total yards of offense in the first half. Austin Smith salvages a junk time touchdown to save the Buffs from getting blanked. Final score 49-7. And Air Force lost their first game of the season last night on the road at Wyoming. Junior running back Titus Swen slammed the door on the Falcons late with a touchdown and some clutch clock chewing. Afterwards, Swen said he had no doubt the boys would protect War Memorial Stadium from invasion.
It feels like a dream. I mean, we've been fighting with Air Force for many years now. Last time they came to the war, they got their bus whooped. This time they came to the war, same story. You feel me?
I feel you. That's some swagger right there from Titus Swen. We didn't have much swagger there in the first segment, but I've been digging and I found some wins. We'll get to that later on in sports.
All right, thanks so much, Nick. Very exciting. And tonight we are learning some new details about the mid-air plane collision in Boulder County near Niwot this morning. All 3 people in both of these planes died in that crash.
Pilots nearby may have witnessed what happened. Take a listen to this exchange over their radios broadcasted on liveatc.net, a website that archives air traffic controller communications.
Did you just see that crash? Did I see what? I just saw, I don't know if it was a model plane, it just crashed hard into the ground. Holy shit, I don't think it was a model plane. I think it was a real plane.
And just moments ago, the NTSB gave another update on this tragic crash.
Sheriff Sanders Rob Harris joins us live outside of the sheriff's office with that new information. Rob?
Yeah, so Bayan, the NTSB is still early in its investigation, but they did confirm tonight that 3 pilots were killed in this crash. Now, we're told that 2 of them were on a training flight that took off from the Rocky Mountain Metropolitan Airport. The third took off from Platte Valley Air Park in Hudson, Colorado, just before 9 o'clock this morning. We're also told that both planes were about 2,000 feet above the ground when they collided, and they basically fell straight from the sky to the ground after that collision. The weather conditions, we're told, were good, with clear skies and light winds. And part of the investigation will be a background and medical study, including a toxicology report on each of the 3 pilots. We've been hearing, though, from concerned residents of the Boulder, Louisville, Superior area for months. They're concerned about the increase in air traffic overall in this area, and specifically with the increase in training flights over the past 2 years, especially as they see more headlines recently of airplane crashes and of emergency landings.
For the most part, most pilot incidents are very safe. You know, we train to land the airplane in an emergency.
Brad Walker's been a pilot for more than 20 years, and he regularly flies the Rocky Mountain and metro area.
We've had so many people from the Boulder, Louisville, Superior area reaching out to us concerned about the increase in training flights.
Right.
Because of the potential for a collision in the air that could harm someone in the air or someone on the ground.
Right.
Do you share that concern, and what can you say to those who are sharing those concerns?
I would say that flying is still one of the safest hobbies, professions that you can actually undertake. Operations are increasing, so statistically there's probably going to be more incidents that happen. But I think there's a heightened awareness here. I live 1.25 miles from this airport. The planes fly overhead all the time over my house. You know, I've never once felt unsafe. You know, today's accident, as unfortunate as it was done in a remote area. And that's on purpose, because if there is an accident, it minimizes damage to people on the ground or our facilities, or reduces the risk, if you will.
Now, the NTSB's full investigation could take a year or more to come out, but we were told in the press conference tonight that they expect to release more details in about 2 weeks with the preliminary report. But in the meantime, they're asking any witness who saw any part of this crash or the collision in air to reach out to them by email at witness@ntsb.gov. Live in Boulder, I'm Rob Harris, Denver 7.
The incident today is so incredibly tragic. Rob, thank you so much. Now, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation is investigating after a train crashed into a police truck, injuring a suspect left in the back seat. CBI says a Platteville police officer stopped a road rage suspect last night next to train tracks on Highway 85. The officer parked their cruiser directly on the tracks while waiting for 2 Fort Lupton officers to show up and help. Now, all 3 officers took the 20-year-old woman into custody, placing her in the back seat of the truck parked on the tracks. While searching her car, a train struck the police cruiser. The woman was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. CBI says this investigation is complex and will take a while to sort out.
Just crazy.
Yeah.
All right, coming up, we are remembering Colorado's Irish immigrants.
See the new memorial dedicated to Colorado's past, once buried in unmarked graves.